In this video, we'll talk about setting big goals. If you're going to set yourself up for success in life, then you need to set some mighty meaningful goals for yourself. So as a starting point, the first and foremost thing to remember on the journey of personal success is a positive attitude towards everything. If you fail once, brush up your knees and get back out there. If you get rejected the first time, better yourself with a positive outlook. Prove yourself instead of bringing yourself down with negativity. Tell yourself through every obstacle and hardship, I did not come this far to only come this far. No success is achieved overnight. No mountain is climbed without a few falls or two. If others can put up a fight to achieve personal success despite countless hardships, so can you. Better to aim high and miss than to aim low and achieve. It's always better to aim high, even if you don't succeed at first. When you aim big, you dream big, and tell yourself that you stand a chance against all odds. The problem with setting lower standards is that the lower you set your aim, the more you confine yourself. You miss more chances and more of your abilities are left unknown. Likewise, more of your will goes without a test. Where you could achieve the stars, your low aim of never going that high will hold you back. No matter how many people look down on you and doubt your capability, it's your own personal belief, unwavering resilience, and ambitions that lead you to achieving your ultimate dream. But the moment you start to doubt yourself, the moment you decide you can't aim higher for the fear of failure, is when your downfall begins. With a higher aim, you may miss it first or you may make it on your first try. Take your chances, a leap of faith in yourself. The higher you aim, the more you achieve. Even if you fall short of your goal, you won't end up too far from it. Just think of achieving a good score on a test. If you aim low at getting 50% mark on your test, you might be successful and achieve that. But that's all it will be, an average and low achievement. If you aim higher at getting 90%, you may miss and hit an 80, which is still higher and so much better than the low set aim of a 50%. The same goes for all tests and trials life puts you through. Set purpose-driven goals. When setting goals, you need to think about how to achieve them, what you need to do to achieve them, and how much time you need to get there. But the real driving force that'll actually make you sweat for any goal is why you need to achieve that goal. Why is it a priority? Why is it so important? Setting goals is easy. Just think of drawing up a New Year's resolution. Everyone does that every year and has been doing it forever. So much so that it's become a mere habit and nothing much else. But what people don't do is pause to think over the goal and question why. Inevitably, without this driving force, they'll soon forget all about it. As such, it's important to not merely set goals, but set purpose-driven goals instead. For example, you may well be thinking of hitting the gym, working out, and getting yourself in shape. With just this in mind, you set a goal in your New Year's resolution to work out every day. So you do it the first day and the second, and then something comes up on the third. Then you end up skipping the fourth day because you get lazy, and there goes your fitness. There goes the goal. On the other hand, an obese person on the verge of getting diabetes and a possible heart attack is told by a doctor he needs to work out and lose weight really soon if he still wants a chance at a healthy life, or maybe just life. This is his why. This is why he won't skip the third or fourth day no matter what comes up. This is why he will achieve his goal with more determination. So through every hardship on your way, when you are at the brink of giving up, you can tell yourself again and again why you cannot give up, why you must go on. Give yourself a time frame to work with. Without setting a time frame to achieve any particular goal, there will be no sense of urgency. The importance of getting anything done is great, but the importance of getting it done in time is even greater. Giving yourself a duration for a specific task will make you more productive in that short time than you would be without it. If you know the deadline for a task is 24 hours, you'll make yourself attend to that task as a priority. You'll utilize those 24 hours in the most effective way possible to complete the task on hand. If you set a deadline of 1 week for the same task, not only will you waste the entire week and be less productive, you will also waste precious time that you could have used to complete other tasks as well. Having said that, the time frame has to be realistic and attainable. You need to be sure whether the goal is a short-term goal or a long-term one. Losing 10 kilograms in 3 days? Not possible, not attainable, even if you spend most of the hours of the 3 days in the gym. The time frame should not be based on some delusion. An understanding of the goal, the priority you're willing to give it, can help you decide better how much time you need to give it and how much time is sensible to give to it. If you have an essay due next week and you keep delaying it or doing it in bits, paragraph to paragraph a day, it'll get tiresome and boring. In the end, it might not even make a lot of sense. Plus, you'll lose the sense of urgency that would make you more productive. But if you decide to do it in 2 days, you'll utilize those 2 days much more effectively and will even have time for other goals once you finish with that essay. The less you linger on with the task at hand, the better. In this video, we'll talk about there's no such things as failure. In life, you are bound to go through some ups and downs. A strong person is one who manages to pull through anything and everything. To be strong and win at life, it's important to remember that there's no such thing as failure. Don't be afraid of rejection. The idea of failure is different for everyone. For some people, the idea is quite daunting, while for others, it's just downright depressing and discouraging. Failure comes in different forms and through different means. Sometimes it's disguised as your inability to excel at something. At others, it comes as rejection. Rejections can be a huge blow if you're not prepared for it. You must always be prepared for rejection because it will come your way at some point in time. Don't be afraid of it and don't refuse to accept that it has come your way. Instead, accept it and polish yourself to be better. If you've been rejected from a college or a co-curricular program, ask yourself why it went wrong. Instead of being afraid of the idea, embrace it and use it to make yourself better. Everyone develops a fear of failure as they grow older. It's easy to see because young people have less fear of failure than older ones. As an infant, you learned how to walk through failure. You tried to get up, but you fell down. But did you stop trying altogether? No. You went through the whole process of trial and error to learn how to walk perfectly. The same principle applies to your adult life. Sometimes rejection hurts your self-esteem, but if you think of it as feedback rather than a failure, wouldn't things be much better? Treat your rejection as feedback and find ways to enhance yourself. Most importantly, don't let the fear of rejection stop you from trying at all. At least give something 1 or 2 attempts, if not more. With the right amount of dedication, you will be able to achieve whatever you want. Failures are stepping stones for success. It's quite a paradox that you have to fail in order to succeed, yet it makes a lot of sense. If you fail at something, that doesn't make you a failure. It just makes you a person who's learned something from their attempt. A world-renowned example of this is Thomas Edison performing about 10,000 experiments to come up with the perfect model for a light bulb. What kept him going after his first or 100th try failed? The determination to succeed. He didn't treat the futile experiments as failures. Instead, he treated them as 10,000 new things that he learned. There are many examples from history which show that failure is essential in the journey to success. You can't really expect to learn something if your path is obstacle-free, can you? But when you fail, you see your mistakes, and that gives you a chance to refine yourself. This is why all successful people are so refined in their ways and choices. They've learned from failures in life. Michael Jordan, the famous basketball star, admits that he's only successful because he failed over and over again. You might think that failure would only break your hopes and dim the lights along the road, yet this isn't entirely true. It just depends on how you decide to see something. As a first-time parent, you might think that you're failing every time something goes wrong. Think of it this way. Every time you do something wrong, there's something you learn not to do in the future. With time, you get better and parenting becomes much easier with your second child. As long as you learn from the experience, it's a success. Failure is an amazing experience in its own way. When you fail, you learn new things about yourself. You learn a new way to cope with something, and you discover your capabilities that never surfaced before. Just like that, you also learn new things about the task at hand. It's perhaps not possible to learn as much from success because it comes with perfection. But there's so much that you can learn from failure as it gives you a chance to grow as a person. You only fail if you give up. As long as you keep trying, you're not failing. If your own failures seem overwhelming, then learn from the experience of successful people. They have a habit of never giving up. Instead of gloating over their failures, they use them to their advantage and pave their way to success. They've all taught us that it's okay to fall and that there's no shame in that. Make this fall your strength and get up with more determination and force that is unbeatable. Always remember, your failure isn't a stop sign. It might be a sign for you to change your direction or be more focused on the one you're already heading to, but in no way is it a stop sign. If you stop, that's when you fail. As long as you keep going on and becoming better, you're succeeding. Never let others force you into believing that you're a failure. It's your journey, and you know how far you have come. You just need to learn from every experience, and it'll soon lead you to success. Everyone faces setbacks in life, but it's people who experiment and persist that become successful later in life. You might have failed multiple times to keep your blog or website running. If you learn from each failure and rectify every mistake you made, you'll have your passion fulfilled in no time. It's only you who determines that you have failed, not your circumstances, neither the people around you. Not everyone gets to play easy in life. Hurdles are bound to come your way, but remember what Tony Robbins says. There's no such thing as failure. There are only results.